Good evening. Welcome back to Edu Skills. OET made easy. Our mission is to make you fall in love with OET. This is a free platform. If you are watching this on YouTube, kindly consider subscribing the channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like our work and share to your contacts so that we reach out to maximum number of OET aspirants, especially those who are financially struggling to crack OET. We'll be dealing with reading part B, exemption-based questions. OET 2.0 Occupational English Test, reading part B. Keep smiling as you listen to me and look at the screen so that you understand better. And reading key skills. Reading B, you have 6 texts and 3 option MCQs, 10 minutes. All these things are known to you. Focus on 13 strategies or signposts or clues that we have already explained last time. This will not be explaining again now. Anyhow, we will come back to these things in detail and focus on 12 question types. And we are accidentally on one question, that is the last one, 12th one. Okay, exemption-based questions. We are trying certain methods for the newcomers. This will be a new approach that we are beginning with this batch. Session 2, task 2, patient confidentiality. It's not the same one. This is question 4. In the same task, maybe OET official material. Thank you, OET, for allowing me to use this material for teaching purpose. We have first and the fourth one, both exemption-based questions. That shows the importance of this particular question type. This is a new material for you, right? So let me see whether the system will read for you. This is also a listening practice for you. Listen
4.
And look at the...
When is it acceptable for a health professional to pass on confidential information given by a patient? A. If non-disclosure could adversely affect those involved. B. If the patient's treatment might otherwise be compromised. C. If the health professional would otherwise be breaking the law. Extract from guidelines, patient confidentiality. Where a patient objects to information being shared with other health professionals involved in their care, you should explain how disclosure would benefit the continuity and quality of care. If their decision has implications for the proposed treatment, it will be necessary to inform the patient of this. Ultimately, if they refuse, you must respect their decision, even if it means that for reasons of safety you must limit your treatment options. You should record their decision within their clinical notes. It may be in the public interest to disclose information received in confidence without consent, for example, information about a serious crime. It is important that confidentiality may only be broken in this way in exceptional circumstances and then only after careful consideration. This means you can justify your actions and point out the possible harm to the patient or other interested parties if you hadn't disclosed the information. Theft, fraud or damage to property would generally not warrant a breach of confidence.
You see the structure, exemption-based questions, paragraph structure, topic sentence, a general statement about diagnosis, medication management, or anything. Confidentiality, breaking the confidentiality, anything can be the topic. And then you have general rule, generally what is to be done. Then you have exception, what is the exception. Then you have topic sentence saying exception, conditions or situations in which you are excused from general rule. And in the exception based, I said the fourth part, the last portion will have the answer. That is one of the conditions or situations in which you are excused from the general rule will be the answer. That was already dealt with. So let's see here, a general statement where a patient objects to information being shared with other health professionals involved in their care. The topic sentence says, what should you do? There is a problem now. Patient doesn't give a consent. Patient doesn't want to share the information given to the medical professional with other professionals. So what will be your consideration? That is the issue or the topic sentence or the topic. Okay. Now general rule. What is the general rule? What is to be done? What you are supposed to do? The passage says, explain how disclosure would benefit the continuity and quality of care. Second, inform the patient of implications of their decision for the proposed treatment. Next, respect their decision, even if it means that for reasons of safety, you must limit your treatment options. Fourth one, record their decision within their clinical notes. In short, this says you must keep patient confidentiality. In short, this says, what is the general rule? You must keep patient confidentiality, and that's also known to us with our general professional knowledge. Now, what is the exception? Now, the second paragraph gives the exception. In the public interest to disclose information received in confidence without consent, without patient's consent, you can disclose the confidential information in the public interest. Okay. So what are the exceptions, the situations or occasions that you can disclose or break the confidentiality rule? These situations include, for example, information about a serious crime. Then in exceptional circumstances, after careful consideration, possible harm to the patient or other interested parties, theft, fraud, or damage to property would generally not warrant a breach of confidence. See how beautifully the structure is given. We have seen, I think this is the fourth one. This is the second session, but then we have done three exemption-based questions. Let's see how it works. You see, exemption-based question para structure. See, first one, general statement where patient objects to information being shared with other health professionals. The general rule, the supporting sentence, respect their decision. Even if it means that for reasons of safety, you must limit your treatment options. Okay, you must. Yes, you must respect their decision, patient's decision. Then exception. What is the exception? That is the general rule. Exception is public interest, in the public interest. So what are those situations in the public interest? These situations include, for example, information about a serious crime in exceptional circumstances after careful consideration, possible harm to the patient or other interested parties, theft, fraud, or damage to property would generally not warrant a breach of confidence. I have put this in red color, highlighted this in red color because that's a negative expression. This says you cannot breach the confidence, you cannot disclose the information. The last one. Now we will see with the question. When is it acceptable for a health professional to pass on confidential information given by a patient? If non-disclosure could adversely affect those involved, if the patient's treatment might otherwise be compromised, if the health professional would otherwise be breaking the law. Topic sentence, that is about the confidentiality and patient not consenting to it. And general rule, generally what is to be done? What is to be done? Respect their decision. Means respect patient's decision, even if it means that you have to compromise the treatment options. Even if treatment cannot be given, you cannot break the confidentiality and you must keep confidentiality is the general rule. Now coming to the exception. What is the exception? In the public interest. And exception is, next part explains the exception. See, these situations, information about a serious crime, in exceptional circumstances after careful consideration, possible harm to the patient or their other interested parties, theft, fraud, or damage to property would generally not warrant a breach of confidence. Here possible harm to the patient or other interested parties is the paraphrasing of if non-disclosure could adversely affect those involved. Okay. Option B says if the patient's treatment might otherwise be compromised. This is opposite of what is given here. See, even if it means that for reasons of safety, you must limit your treatment options, you must respect their decision, means you have to keep confidentiality. So this is the opposite of this. If the health professional would otherwise be breaking the law, not given. The paragraph or the text doesn't speak anything about the health professional breaking a law. Okay, it's only about confidentiality, rule of confidentiality. See, B, if the patient's treatment might others be compromised, this, even if it means that for reasons of safety, you must limit your treatment options, that is paraphrasing of B option. Task analysis, synonym, could, possible. Question says could, text says possible. Adversely affect, harm. Synonymous language, those involved. And the text says patient or other interested parties. Okay, paraphrasing, non-disclosure could adversely affect those involved. Option A, that is the right option. Text says possible harm to the patient or other interested parties. Treatment might otherwise be compromised. That is option B. The paraphrasing used in the text is limit your treatment options. Okay, and the opposites, don't disclosure and disclose. Those opposites are being used here. This is a strategy we are working on. This is how we have to see. Now I am just taking you one step further. See, if you want to understand this, the first part, topic sentence, it's a problem given. Means the patient doesn't consent to reveal the information given to the shared with the health professional with other professionals. That's the problem. So patient's objection to sharing confidential information is the problem. Now, what solution? What should you do? It says what you should do. Explain how disclosure would benefit the continuity and quality of care. 2, inform the patient of the implications of their decision for the proposed treatment. 3, ultimately, you must respect their decision at any cost. If you are not a beginner, if you have attended my sessions, modal verb must speaks there is the answer. Okay, that we are not going to deal now. Later, I'll give you the sessions on modal verbs. Ultimately, you must respect their decision, means you must keep the confidentiality at any cost. Must means at any cost. Record their decisions within their clinical notes. That is what this whole portion speaks about, this yellow colored portion of the paragraph. Next paragraph, first sentence gives exception. Okay, public interest is the exception. Then you have, for example, the situations, details, information about a serious crime. Okay, actually only one is given there for you to understand. I have put into 4 topics. Actually, it means information about serious crime can be disclosed without patient's consent if there is a possible harm to the patient or other interested parties in exceptional circumstances. And the fourth last part, negative expression, theft, fraud, or damage to property would generally not warrant a breach of confidence. Just to confuse you, that doesn't warrant a breach of confidence means in such cases, theft, fraud, or damage to property, you cannot break the confidentiality, means you cannot share the confidential information with other professionals. So this is the structure if you're looking at in a different angle to this paragraph. How to identify an exception-based question? That was the concern many of you shared in the YouTube comment space, and even admins told me that was also shared in the mentors during the mentors hour. So let's see how you can identify this is an exception-based question. Maybe we will listen to this. There are many language options, but the main language options I'll give you. Just listen to this. These are 4 questions. I think 4 you have dealt with 3 of them. Just listen.
1. Nursing staff can remove a dressing if a member of the surgical team is present. B. There is severe leakage from the wound. C. They believe that the wound has healed. 4. When is it acceptable for a health professional to pass on confidential information given by a patient? A. If non-disclosure could adversely affect those involved. B. If the patient's treatment might otherwise be compromised. C. If the health professional would otherwise be breaking the law. 1. If vaccines have been stored incorrectly, A. This should be reported. B. Staff should dispose of them securely. C. They should be sent back to the supplier. 1. Doctors are advised to break patient confidentiality if a failure to do so would put other people in danger. B. They inform the patient of their intention in advance. C. A patient refuses to disclose information relevant to their care.
So what is common here?
If.
Yeah.
If conditional.
Condition.
Okay, conditional. You see, if
Conditional.
here in the question you don't have if, but all the 3 options gives if. Here it is, first one
Yes,
is at the end, you have
if.
if of the end of the question statement. The other one you have in the beginning, if. This could be the common way of identifying a question. As soon as you see such expressions, you know where to search for the answer, right? Immediately, now you have to read all these things, but once you have gain competency, really you can just launch into particular area and compare with the options. Definitely you have. This is one clue I am giving you. I'll be giving you at least 4 clearer clues, even better clues than this for each type of question. This is only one clue. Okay. Gradually, as I go with other statements, I'll be taking the same passages and telling you what are the other clues. As I said, must. If must, modal verb is there, definitely there is a clue. There is the answer. Okay. You must respect patient's decision. Means you should not break patient confidentiality. Okay. So this is the way how you tackle. Now you'll be thinking, why father is taking so much time? He said there are 12 types of questions, 12 question types, and he's taking such a long sessions and tasks for this one particular question. This is not just based on exception-based question, but I am teaching you the language competency. How you have to approach a paragraph. Whatever the paragraph, you have the structure, a particular structure for the paragraph. That's what you have to imprint in your brain. Then, as soon as you look into the paragraph, things will be very cool. But you need patience. Now, I see a lot of messages coming to me telling that, Father, we need more material. We want to do everything. We want to immediately tonight, I want to travel to UK. Okay. So don't rush up. We have patience. There's a keyword and you have not done that task. I had asked you to write on a beautiful drawing sheet or something, or you can ask your kids or your brothers or sisters to write patience and consistency to words to keep in front of your table, study table, and give us a screenshot in the main platform. You have not done it, which shows you haven't got the patience. You'll have to do that. Okay.
We have done it further. We
I
posted
see.
those.
Very few, I think, very few. I have seen a couple of them, but not all. These are all exemption-based questions. Are you clear about the exemption-based question pattern?
Yes,
But
Father.
always in the exemption question, we can see conditional mode.
There are different language options. Other options I'll give you as we go through some other questions. Okay. There's a major options, 90 plus options are yes.
Okay.
Now you have seen
Okay.
here also, you have seen different options, right? For example,
Yeah.
if was in the beginning, if was not in the question. See,
Yes.
different options we have seen. If at the end of this question statement, if this question statement doesn't have if, but then all these three have if, and this if is in the initial stage of the question statement, and this if again at the end of the
End of
question statement. Yeah, this is how you analyze the question. This is how you have to analyze. That's why I said you just dig out the same paragraph again and again, understand, try to summarize it in your own words, try to speak out in your mother tongue. As I said, you could also, I don't know, I had asked the admins, some of you prepared good PPTs. I wanted you to speak out looking at the PPT so that maybe, you know, some of the beginners, there are some beginners, maybe those who have studied in their vernacular medium schools and they have done their general nursing maybe, and they have a long gap. They have been using their mother tongue in the hospitals. They find it a bit difficult to digest my language. So I cannot go very, very slow, only comparing a minority. So what you could do is if you could record and send us, we'll edit and post it so that it will be beneficial for many people. You have seen our admin Arya and me and all those people doing videos and thousands of them benefiting from that, right? That's how we help others. Yeah. Though there are more than 350 sessions uploaded, I'm trying different methods for it. This is the first time I'm teaching this type of classes sessions. This for exclusively for this new batch. Earlier, you can see it was in a different way. I have graded down the competency of teaching, and I'm trying to go LKG in OET.
Thank you, Father, for such an informative session. I am very happy to have your classes.
Yeah, Father. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank on behalf of me and our team for joining this class. And my one question is, as you said, this exemption-based question. So condition means what and all it will be included in that, Father?
It's cool, ma. Nothing special included. If statements will be there. See, generally you have to, for example, abortions are not recommended. That is a general rule.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe
yes,
at certain situations, exemption will be there when mother's life is in danger.
Yeah.
There's an exception, right?
Yes, Father.
So they could give 3-4 exemptions. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What are the exemptions? One of those exemptions will be the situations will be the answer. Yeah, exemption means, you see, this is the general rule. Traffic, as I said, all must follow traffic rules. Whether you are going for a marriage function, whether you are going to the court, whether you are a doctor or anybody, all citizens must follow traffic rules. That is a general rule. But then there are exceptions for ambulance, then fire force engines, all those things, exceptions. And that will be definitely that is the answer.
Okay, fine.
So, now you know, it comes at the end of the paragraph. So as of now, you have to read the paragraph time and again, maybe 20 times, no issue, or 100 times, no issue. Learn every word, every expression, because almost all the questions of this type will come same way. You have seen now 3, right? One more I think altogether we have 4 now. I had given you 1 task. So altogether you have seen 4. And definitely I'll try to explain that in one of the brief sessions. Be able to identify, if you have developed the competency, you'll be able to identify the exception-based questions as you go through the materials. And if somebody is out in this batch, please don't feel bad. You are more advanced, or you don't require such a slow going. So you may be out after 2-3 days screening because you are not able to do the task, or you haven't got sufficient time. As I said, maybe your child is born and you want to have your OET when child is in the 10th standard. So you thought of starting now. In that case, you may not be able to do the task because you have 10 years of gap. Okay, so in such cases, it's not that we don't love you, we love you all, but to help others, those who are weak, we have created a separate batch whereby we are going very slow. We are working with these kids. So those Asian Olympic Games, PT Ushas, will find it very irritating. They can definitely have another batch. We'll go with that. And also different time zones. We already have a Gulf region group, and you can join that group, and all those from Gulf region According to your time zone, we'll try to arrange some sessions.
Father, one thing which you want to just strike in our mind when it goes to exception based question, like if we say exception based question, the one quick thing we have to remember, what is that?
That is normally the answer is at the end of the paragraph. So when you are competent, you will not be reading the whole paragraph. Now, second paragraph, definitely, the topic sentence of the first paragraph says confidentiality. Now, definitely it will be in the second paragraph or the later portion of the question. That's why I said the structure. Topic sentence, you have a statement, general statement. Then you have general rule. All must follow this. All must follow traffic rules. Then you have an exemption statement saying that, but there are certain exemptions. What are the exemptions? The situations or these conditions where you can use the exemption will be explained 1, 2, 3. And one of them will be definitely the answer. Not now, but after some time, you will smile at me and say, I have completed within 4 minutes, 6 questions. Because you may not read. I tell you, if you have the patience, you will do that. And there are so many students who have done. Even Part A and all people, within 7 minutes, they have completed. And they have corrected, and after 9 minutes, they were looking around for 5, 6 minutes. And maybe everybody thought these people, this guy doesn't know anything. We had a lot of experiences of that sort. It's very simple exam if you understand the strategies. It's applicable, it is applicable in Part A, Part B, Part C. That's why I said you may have a question, why father is teaching B before teaching A? Because once you know the paragraph structure, it's all about A has 4 texts, it's 4 paragraphs. B has 6 texts, 4 paragraphs. C, each article has 8 texts also, 8 paragraphs also. Those are the paragraphs. Once you know the basics of paragraph, for example, if you go to IELTS, same thing. If you go to PTE, they will give you different. For example, in PTE, one of the main questions, 47 marks you have for out of 147 marks for this reading, in PTE exam. And for example, what they will do, they will jumble these sentences. Exception will be given in the beginning, then general statement, then exception, then general rule, then topics. They will jumble up the order and ask you to order it, put in order. That will be the question. So you should have the competency. If I give you jumbled up paragraph, you should be able to put in order. This is the first sentence because the general statement. This has got a if or but or despite. That can never be the first statement. Or this cannot be the first statement because that gives some examples. So you should know what is the first statement, next sentence, third sentence, fourth sentence, fifth sentence. That is the competency. Then you will smile at OET and say, this is cool. Yes.
Thank you, Father.
Yeah. But first thing, you need patience. 90% don't have the patience. Father, there are more materials. If I have spent so much time preparing the PPT, highlighting it, coloring it, you should also spend at least half of that time, right? Patience and consistency. Great. Now that has to go into your mind.
Yes, Father,
So,
I want to summarize the session. Thank you, Father, to giving me this opportunity. Yeah, I would like to thank everybody, and our summarize is like from day one, we are doing exception-based question. In that, we came to know how we are able to find the exception-based question, how to identify the question. There will be topic sentence, supportive sentence, another supportive sentence will be there, and developing sentence will be there. Apart from that, we have learned in that exception-based question, synonymous and synonymous language and paraphrasing also, Father. And in these 3-4 days, we have learned we came across many synonymous and synonymous language and paraphrasing also. About 20 to 30 synonymous language I am able to find out with these 4 questions. And today's session, in this we have learned a very good trick, like as soon we are seeing the question, how we can identify the exception based question, that is if was indicated in all the 4 questions. And other thing is like how slowly we are going to your videos, Father. Every time we are coming across new words, new modal verbs, contrast word, many things we have come across, but we are not able to find based on those strategies, we are not able to find the question. Only one thing, from the day when you have taught us about exception based question using of synonymous language and all, with that strategy only I am able to solve these 4 questions, Father. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Today class, it was little more interesting. When we are reading by alone ourselves, maybe we will miss somewhere. But today class, maybe everyone understood. The main thing, how to identify the main task statement. You thought now, just now you thought as the main task statement and general rule, what to do, when to do, what is the exemption, like in what situation it is accepted, in what situation it is not accepted, that I understood now. Modal verbs, how it is applied here also. Like giving an example, doing in this way, it will help each everyone to find out the answer. Like I was not knowing this exemptional base. If comes means it is a conditional where we can find the answer easily. So we promise you that by attending all your class, maybe within a week we'll be able to solve all this exemption based question, Father. This is what I learned.
Summary of the class. First, we have begun with OET reading part B. In the 12 type of questions, first we started with exception based questions. The first way of finding exception based question is looking for hint of the word if, either in questions or either in answers. So before going to the answers, follow the paragraph structure. In all the paragraph structures, there are particular structure followed: topic sentence, which generally gives a generalized information of the rest of the paragraph, followed by supporting sentence 1, 2, or 3, which supports the topic sentences. Supporting sentence 1 will give the general thing to do, and supporting sentence 2 tell us what not to do, and developing sentence illustrates or gives an examples of if there is an exception, why the exception is and what we have to do for it. And in this type of questions, most probably the answers will be either in middle or at the end of the paragraph. And today when we have seen that question, they have given one negative expression type of the question just to make confuse us during the exam or whatever is. Training competency makes us clear those questions within less time. Thank you.
How beautifully they do it. And this is not only fluency, this helps us to think analytically. You know, when you speak, it's not easy. You have to think analytically and speak when you summarize. That gives a cutting edge to your language competency. And what I want you to do, because I'm getting thousands of messages asking what is the fee structure, what is the fee for individual module, what is the fee for the whole 4 modules. See, I have to keep on answering them. At least reach out to them. The basic thing is a free platform, and try to share to all your contacts. Maybe the admins will give you the links as well as my session, previous sessions in one segment, or you have at the description of this particular video, which we started 1 and 2 video. In that you have the list you can copy, otherwise they will send you in your batch, and try to share it to maximum people. Today I was discussing with one of the admins. See, you did not pay anything, but see that our mission is to reach out to financially struggling OET aspirants. You know, earlier we used to take only such people. Then some people were crying and telling me, it's not our fault. We are born in a rich family, but we want to crack OET. There is no training. So we thought, let everybody go together. Okay. So what happens? What you can do, at least today I was discussing, why don't you, if you can't do it from your personal phone, why don't you buy one SIM extra? It will cost 50 rupees or 100 rupees. For Edu Skills, to empower others. See, we are spending, even the admins and me, we are spending a lot of amount for poor people. Like, you know, even this platform is a premium platform, paid platform, data and other in the arrangements, and the platform runs with huge cost. You know, it's a huge platform. Even the application will require minimum the basic investment of 20 to 21 lakhs. Okay, so we are spending now. Why don't you share with us to reach out the platform to many people? At least take a SIM. If you don't want to publish your number, take one SIM, just 50 rupees or 100 rupees, just for the sake of Edu Skills, and share to all the possible contacts and groups. And let somebody benefit. Maybe your share, your 50 rupees, 100 rupees, or a couple of minutes will save generations. Okay, that's a great thing you can do. If somebody is doing it, let me know. We will collaborate with you. Only thing we have to reach out, because I am spending a lot of time answering the people. When they cry, I have to answer, right? I can use those timings for sharing sessions with you. At least in Facebook and other places, tell them it's a free platform. There are so many people who have, after passing the exam, there's one girl who spoke to me and said from Assam, Father, so thank you so much. I did not attend any of your live sessions because it must be very expensive, but I have watched your videos. Only watching your videos, I have passed. I did not attend your sessions because I thought it will be very expensive. Imagine. And she was shocked to say that hear that it was all free. So just communicate, give the link, add people, at least one person a day to the platform. So that definitely, maybe out of 100, there are so many people who send me a message telling that I don't know who is that angel who added me to this group. I got my OET. I'll be definitely praying for that person throughout my life. So many of them. So be that angel who lightens or spreads the good news, the happy news to others. Okay, we don't get anything. We don't want anything. If we want to make money, we'd have done it. But then we want to reach out to maximum people. There should be not even a single health professional who is financially struggling. So let me have your response regarding this. What will you do? You can even personally message me, okay? My WhatsApp. Okay, God bless you all. Smile and exit, and others will get in now for the next session. If you have any concerns, you can post it, you can send it, and you can tell. Yeah, even at the YouTube comment space, you can tell me why, Father Buddhu, you are going so slow. We feel so ashamed. Anything you can
Thank
comment.
you, Father. Thank you, Father.
Thanks a lot, Father.
Cool. God bless you, man. God bless you all.